The honor of inviting me to be here today to listen to you. I wish to apologize sincerely that the Vice Presidential Candidate of the Labour Party, H.E Peter Obi, is not here. He was supposed to leave Lagos this morning. We were all involved in the town hall meeting yesterday, and I left Lagos this morning for this purpose. He was supposed to leave Lagos, but you know how the flight issues are. Unfortunately, the flight he was supposed to come on developed a problem, and he's now coming probably after 2 o'clock, and I said, don't worry, I'm going. So I apologize on his behalf. Your Eminence, for me, I wish to most sincerely thank you and your team. I do not think I have any comment to make, maybe to add a little, because whatever needs to be said, you've articulated it. So for me, I've come here and I'm very glad. When I was coming for learning, not to tell you anything, but I've been taught enough. I've taken the document, I've filed it. It's a wonderful document. If we implement whatever is written here, if we implement what is written here, there's nothing again to do. Whoever does this has achieved all that it needs to be achieved. And that brings me to what I've always said about our country. Nigeria is not bereft of ideas, written solutions, and everything. What is lacking is this institutional framework and the political will to do the right thing. We are 18 of us now going around applying for a job of the president. You, the owners of the country, are interviewing all of us. And it is important. We're going to tell you the same story. Nobody's story, everybody's story will be as sweet as the other one. What we are going to do now is to put your binoculars to check the sincerity and the truth and the one you can trust. It is now, who among these 18 can you trust? But there's no promise you are going to make that was not been made by people in the past. That promise has always been there. But it is who have delivered this trust. Everybody's going to tell you now how they're going to go take you to heaven. Until after election, they start reminding you where you're coming from in the past, which you have forgotten. That's the reason why you're hiring us now. And that's what I told people yesterday. I will not look at the past. Most of the things you enumerated here are the things I say that all I want to do is to move the country from consumption to production. It is not a productive country. People say, what is your priority? I said it. My priority is to secure and unite the country. It's number one thing you need to do, because the first job you said here is a failed or a failing state. Because we want to be polite with our country, Nigeria have hit the two most critical things that qualifies the country for a failed state. Number one, when you're no longer in control of your territory. We are no longer in control of here. Number two is when you're no longer in control of your economy. Nobody can tell you today how much they are going to sell a bag of rice tomorrow. Not in this country. If you just ask somebody to go to market, when he comes back, whatever price it is, you take it. That's the price for the day. No country can function like that. Anybody, people say now they're traveling to the east. Your family say they're traveling anywhere now. East, west, north, everywhere. You're waiting until they reach there and phone you. Then you cannot eat. Otherwise, you're not sure. So that is the crisis we face. The question is, how are we going to do it? This is You saw the last report where we now move where we have over 133 million people living in poverty. No country can have that number of people living in poverty and you won't face the crisis we're facing. And why, how did we get there? All that you've said here that is not happening is cumulative effect of leadership failure over the years, which we can say supported by complacency of our people. So I assure you that I'm committed. Let me say it first. I'm committed to what the charter. The only thing that is there is how do we implement it? The will to implement it. And I can tell you, people, I believe that we need to restructure. I believe in all this. But even as bad as this present constitution is, there's a lot of guarantees in it and there's a lot of things that you can implement it that can make it work. It's not what is stopping us from production. No. What is stopping us from production is that over the years, we have had incompetent leadership. And it's not just president, at all levels, because they're cumulative things. You might have one or two people who mean well, but at the end of the day, 75% of the people don't know what they need to do. The country is failing. That's why you've created too many people. So what are we going to do? I say again, secure and unite the country. It is critical. Because when you secure the country, you are able to bring your farmers to go back to the farm. That alone will start bringing you down your food inflation. The food inflation is the most critical inflation you need to hit up. And then talk about moving the country, because I want to interact, I want to listen to people, I want to ask the question. Moving the country, by the time you move it from consumption to production, you're pulling people out of poverty. The more you pull people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. I was seeing the Canadian ambassador this morning, and I said, you used to have agitation in your country. There's agitation all over the place. There's criminality all over the place. Brazil, everywhere. You used to go through what we're going through now. India used to have a problem. They couldn't feed themselves. I said to him, why is Canada today a place everybody wants to go? Because you've turned around your economy. You put people out of poverty. Agitations and all the problems. Because if people know where the next meal is coming from, they reduce the agitation, they reduce their criminality and everything. And I've gone to prisons and seen young people and asked them, why did you do what you did? They will tell you they have no job. They have no means of livelihood. You can't have 33% unemployment in a huge country like Nigeria and you have crisis. You can't have 60%, almost 50% youth unemployment, which means millions of your young people with energy and talent are not doing anything. They have to exert that energy somewhere. You can't have, because they don't have anywhere to exert it, they've gone into drugs. You have 13.8% drug prevalence against the global average of about 5.something%. You have a crisis. To deal with that crisis is production. First thing you need to do in your production is everybody will tell you today, oh, you have deficit, you have hunger, you have all this. We need to feed ourselves. We're talking about managing resources here. The biggest physical assets of this country for production today is the vast uncultivated land in the north. That will give Nigeria more money than what we're getting from oil. I've showing state after state. I was in Benue on Friday. I went to see a group in Boko. They read the paper against me. And all they complained is hunger in the land. Hunger. And they said they are predominant in Benue and Kogi. And I said, and you're hungry. It shows why the country is unproductive. And I said to people, Benue is 34,000 square kilometers of land. Fertile land. And you're looking for food. Benue, 3-point-something million people living on 34,000 square kilometers of land. I say, sir, the mind is to settle you countries that have done better. Netherlands without water is 33,000 square kilometers. Without water. Their agricultural export last year is 103 billion euros, about $120 billion. Benue cannot feed itself. They have 17.4 million people living on this land space. Benue is the same land size with 3-point-something million. So they have more space for agriculture. These people have less space. But they exported 100 and something billion worth of agricultural products. Benue is looking for food. Because it's not a productive country. If Benue can do 1%, not 2, just 1, of what they did, Benue would have produced $1.2 billion. At 650 naira, it's about 750 billion, which is about 4 or 5 times the budget of Benue State. But they are looking for food. They are coming to Abuja for statutory allocation. And I told them, Kogi is same thing. Kogi is a city of 54.4 thousand square kilometers of land. Kogi is bigger than Belgium and Israel combined.
Wow.
Belgium is 30.9 thousand square kilometers of land, while Israel is 22.1. Two of them is 53. Kogi is 54 point something. They are looking for food because they can cultivate food. Kogi sits on Mambila Plain. Mambila Plain, you can cultivate flower there. Kenya did flower export last year. There was a flower field of over $500 million. Kenya is in Africa. They have land for coffee. Ethiopia exported 1.1 billion worth of coffee last year. They have land for tea. Sierra Leone, I'm talking about 12, did 1.4 billion in tea. They are waiting to 33 allocation for the little we get from oil. We leave this country, live on 923,000 square kilometers of land, 220 million people, or 200 million people, whatever you call. Our total export last year, the eminence, is 18.9 trillion naira. If you divide by official rate, it will give you, which is 410, it will give 47 billion. If you divide it by rate of 650, it will give you less than $30 billion. I will show you third world countries because I want to answer questions from everybody. Vietnam, which if you go and Google, you will see that year 2010, you can compare these two countries. Vietnam is 100 million people living on 331,000 square kilometers of land. So they live on a third of our land. We are 900 and something. They are half of our population. The total export last year, merchandise export, is over $350 billion. So we couldn't do 10% of what they did. And 95% of their exports is manufactured goods. It is not natural resources, which is what we are sharing here. It is not. It is manufactured food. Electronics, over 60 billion. Clothing, which they can do in about everyone, over 32 billion. They did more in clothing. Twice what we did in oil, they did it in clothing. That's clothing. That's all we're waiting for. Everybody is waiting to share from the oil. That is why a state like Borno have crisis, because there's no production. Borno is 70.9 thousand square kilometers of land. Borno is almost 2.5 times the size of Netherlands. Definitely same thing, but they are not doing anything. You go to Niger State, the state is same thing, 76.3 thousand square kilometers. 7 local governments is under control of bandits, no production. So we can't go on this way. The country must move from consumption to production. You must remove the sharing formula for production formula. That's what we change the country. And it can be done. Today people shout about rate of Naira. The rate of Naira is very simple. The rate of your currency, the eminence, is driven by your reserve and your export. It's a simple thing. There's nothing that drives it. Your reserve and your export. If you don't have reserve, you don't have export, you have a problem. And it's what I'm saying now. You're not producing anything, you're not exporting anything. So you cannot. People are talking about deficit. Deficit because they criminalize country. You're no longer exporting anything. Nigeria is the only country that's been criminalized. People are busy stealing whatever is remaining. We're the only OPEC country that could not meet our obligation. Apart from Venezuela, because they have sanctions. We're looking for foreign investors. But people are still at oil. The eminence, those who steal oil are people in government. We need every dollar. $1, every $1. We need it. But the eminence in 2 months we lost about $5 billion. It might be dollar we need to share with other people, because there's a component that will come to us and we share with other people. But to just show you how serious we are as a country. Using 2 months. In July, our OPEC production quota is 1.8 million barrels per day. In July, Your Eminence, our production was 1,083,000. So every day we were losing 717,000, which came to 20 in that month, 22,227,000. At a price of 110 throughout July, we lost $2,445,000,000. A country that needs every $1, we don't need to miss one. In August, our production was 975,000. We are losing 825 per day. Throughout the day, throughout this thing, it was a total of about 25 million barrels. Multiply 100, the average price in August we lost $2.5 billion in August. Two of them combined will give you almost $5 billion. And we are looking for foreign investors. Is it not enough to carry everybody and man the pipeline where that oil is going? All of us standing there and making sure, because it's our source of revenue. We don't need to go overseas. We don't need to be in that swamp. We only need to do what is right. And you can go on and on and on this situation. Look at our budget next year. Our budget next year is 20-something trillion, with about 11 trillion deficit, out of which about 6 trillion is going to oil subsidy. The evidence of oil subsidy is organized crime. We can't consume that amount of fuel daily. How can you put more money in subsidy than you're putting in health and education? Well, everybody knows that the more a country is educated, the better its development. And you're not doing education. You're not doing it. So, the evidence for me, I will not take it. Because like I said, everything you know it here. You know how to solve a problem. What we are saying is, who is prepared to deal with it? That is it. And I can assure you that go and look at the antecedents of all of us. Some will speak better when it's English than the other. Some have more glossary presentation than others. Some have more this. But let's check the antecedents. What they've been able to do. So if a man said, I'm going to fight corruption, let's go where he passed through and know what was the remaining and what was left. So we'll know whether what we are giving him here, whether he will keep it for us. So it's not enough to say, I'm going to fight corruption. We've heard it before. But when you have the opportunity last,
did you fight it?
The key measurement of corruption perception index is management of public resource. That includes appointment. Nepotism is a major part of corruption. It's a huge part of corruption. So how did you share where you live? If you were governor or anybody, how many people did you appoint that belong to you? When you had the opportunity of sharing land, how many was allocated to you, your wife, your children? Said to people, I was governor of Anambra State. The evidence go to Anambra State. If any contractor will tell that they ever sat down with Peter Obi to talk about what is movement to benefit, I'll stop campaigning.
Obidient.
And my Peter Pastor Koye, Reverend Koye, he came when I was being impeached, along with other people when I was being impeached. And the House of Assembly said what I'm going to give them to save me for impeachment. And I told them, I can't pay people for doing the wrong thing. I'll never go home. My name is not governor, my name is Peter Obi. So I won't do it. And I didn't do it. And God, whose grace that gives power, brought me back. So go and ask people, go and ask them whether there's any land allocated directly or indirectly to Peter Obi as governor of Anambra State. Everybody knew how I left. There's been challenges and everything and all that. I've said that the day I left, I was not owing any supplier who has supplied what we ordered. I didn't say there's no contract that is outstanding, but if you have delivered, if you have done construction work and raised certificate, we were not owing any the day I left office. I was not owing any civil salary, pension or gratuity. And I'm right there for you to verify. And the 3 banks where I left money, I call them every day. None of the banks have come out and said he didn't. And nobody asked me to do that. And I said, and I'm going to repeat it here, for your own documentation. I left in Access Bank $50 million over 10 billion naira. It is state money. I left in Fidelity Bank $50 million over 10 billion naira. I left in Diamond Bank $50 million over 10 billion naira. Until today, Anambra have never bought me a bottle of water. When they brought something for me to sign and said it's gratuity and pension for the governor, my speaker was very generous. How they will build a house for me in Oka, build one in Abuja, buy me car, do everything and all that. And I said, Mr. Speaker, I don't live in Abuja. I don't need a house in Abuja. I'm not saying it's wrong for those who have one, but I don't live in Abuja. I don't have a house in Abuja. I don't have it today because I don't live in Abuja. I live in Onitsha. I have a house there. And I have a flat in Lagos. Because I don't have to have a house for everyone. So I said, Mr. Speaker, I finished my work. I'm going home. Other people will come and do it. So, Your Eminence and your team, let us build a Nigeria. I said to the people of the North, next year's election should not be based on tribe. It will not be based on tribe. If it is by tribe, the North would have been safer. The North would have been more developed. Because they've always been there. They don't buy bread cheaper in the North. The poor people there are worse. If it is by tribe, the 10 poorest states in Nigeria is in the North. So it is not by tribe.
Awesome.
The South don't buy bread cheaper. I've told them, yes, I believe in what you said here. We must all respect the issue of religion. It is sacrosanct that we live with others here. And we must respect that plurality. But even at that, I don't want us to blindly follow people because of religion. No group buys bread cheaper. I don't see where Christians buy bread cheaper. Or there's a road they tell and said only Christians. So everybody will pass through it. I've asked people, show me road where they say it's only for Muslims. So we can pass through it. But where they buy bread cheaper, if we don't know what to do, I'll send somebody to go and buy it cheaper for me. Or where bag of rice is sold to anybody cheaper. So, I don't know. It should not be by anybody thinking it's his father's inheritance or his turn. It's nobody's turn. It's turn of Nigerian children to take back their country. Nobody's turn. We've seen enough of this. We must have a country. And I said to the North, I will change the North. That vast land, uncultivated land, I'll turn it into an agricultural land. And it will be agent of production. We don't need oil. That land can give us 3-4 times what oil is giving us today. Oil is a diminishing asset. Soon it will not be worth nothing. What we should be doing now is using the resources from the oil to clean up the environment in Niger Delta, which we have refused to do over the years. Because we can't leave them like that. We need to deal with them and clean up their place. We have resources all over Nigeria that can help us to build a better Nigeria. The world has moved. We can't be trapped in yesterday. We must have tomorrow. And that tomorrow is what I'm offering. We can't use the process of yesterday. We can't use those who didn't do it yesterday to solve tomorrow. They don't know what it is all about. And it's not going to be the same thing. If they know, we won't be here. So somebody can be applying for a job where he has been in charge and drove this car to a ditch. The car is having a problem, has engine problem, and you see saying you can continue driving it. It will not work. You're going to kill everybody. But I said I will do that. It is time for me to go and retire in peace. The job requires physical and mental energy. 24 hours. Because we're not in a mess. If it was normal, we can manage it. But where we are now, it doesn't require any management. It requires the driver, the captain must be clear. He must be in charge. I will be in charge. I will make sure it works. In our country, people don't do what is expected. They do what is expected. I will be there. I turned around the education. I didn't change the teachers. But I turned it around from 26, number 1. We didn't change the teachers. What changed that I was there. I visited 500 and something schools. Everybody had my phone number. We need to cut cost of governance. People waste time here. You see local government chairman leave local government for 2 weeks. You see governor stay there. What are you doing? See governors and people accompanying people. Go and ask them, no commissioner in Anambra State ever saw me off to the airport or welcomed me to the airport. When I was coming here this morning, I got telling Kesh, he said, I said, Kesh, so let's go here. He said, where are we going with? I said, they invited me alone. They didn't say me and Tim. So what if okay, woman leader is around, let him go with us. So we can be 3 or 4. We must shut this because these all these things you see are at the cost that we need to fix schools. Why will a governor be accompanying the president to be going around? Doesn't he have a job to do? They should stay there and tell the local governments and the communities within the states. That's what we need. We need a new government. We need a new place. We cannot continue this old way. It will not work. What they are telling you is to give us the chance to continue the same thing. No. It must change. They want us to continue subsidy. That is what is hitting your inflation and everything. They want us to continue all this thing. How can we have a country where in 2008 our debt, I'm sure Sam knows, then in 2000 where our debt is, today we move from about 10 trillion, 15, we are now hitting 70 trillion. Over 100 billion added without anything to show for it. If we are doing 10 billion to power, we won't be talking about power today. And you can go on and on and on. But dear people, the day is far well spent. And I'm sure some people will have questions. Let me cover the other ones for this question. But let me assure you, my commitment to this is total. I want to be given opportunity to hire young, energetic men and women and start solving this problem. I want to pull our young people where we have so much energy and talent. I want to invest in them because they can change the world. That's what I want. I don't want this. We don't need people we don't need to go back to where we're coming from. Go and check my record. Yes. That. Leave any distortion. I didn't say I solved every problem. But check where I took it from, where I ended. I have an idea. And I believe that I can solve this problem. Very clearly. And like I said before, we are going to do the right things. Daddy and I, he's a young man, he's shown it the entrepreneur and everything. And every day we sit down and I tell him, Daddy, We must stop wealth without enterprise. That's why the country is not progressing. Anybody who has wealth must show us his factory, his shop, his office, or this. We must stop corruption. Corruption kills entrepreneurship. It kills professionalism. How do you tell a professor in a university to be doing research to become a professor when a term many lives like a star? You can't. We must reward hard work.
Yes.
We must reward talent. That's how societies progress. It's not happening today. We can't continue to celebrate criminality. These are things we want to change. Bring value that have changed other societies there. It's not going to be easy. People will always say that, how are you going to do it? The evidence have done it at a small level. I'm happy that we are not done it here. Such people like Masokore. Then you know that every day I come to Anambra State, Abuja, all I hear from the president is that people are not happy with you. When I was governor, nobody was happy. All the elites, because they live off the confusion. So they were not happy. But this is not about happiness.
Yes.
Nobody will be happy by going to work, but Nigeria will be happy. Because they build their lives. Our schools will work. We are going to educate all those educated people in the north. People say to me, you have millions of people uneducated in the north. No. Those uneducated people in the north will surprise you. They learn the Quran. So they're intelligent. I'll meet them where they're learning Quran and teach them skill. So by the time they finish, they become source of production. That's what we are lacking today. So I assure you, Eminence, thank you for what you're doing. It is an exemplary thing. I wish other organizations are meeting are giving me this type of paper. I'm going to take all of them back. One thing I can assure you is that there's so many papers like this packed somewhere. What we need now is implementation of it. And I is committed to implementation of it. I'm not going to give a school. The job of a leader is not to give a school. I'm not going to complain. It's not the job of a leader. And I won't remind Nigerians of their past. Because if the past was good, you won't hire me. You're hiring me for the future. And I'm going to deal with the future. Thank you and God bless you.